Hi everybody, Louise here. Today's lesson is about how to improve your reading skills and how to find answers in a text. Also, how to maximize your time. As you can see with this text we have here, it says at the top, read the descriptions of 6 homes for rent. So you have 6 paragraphs there from A to F about each house. And then in B, we have the questions or the statements that you have to find the answers for in the text. Now, one interesting thing about this is that this text isn't for entertainment purposes. You have a task to do, you have a goal, you have to find information about each of these houses. Now, in real life, if you were looking for a house, for example, and you were on daft.ie or My Home, wherever, you know what kind of house you're looking for yourself. You know how much money you want to spend. You know how many rooms you need, how many bedrooms. You know everything else, what you need for your house. You know what your budget is, etc. So, likewise with this text, we're not reading it for fun. We're reading just to focus on these issues here, these questions at the bottom. So, how do you do that? If you were given this text and I said, okay, I want you to do this, and you have, 5 minutes to do it, where would you begin? Would you start up here? Okay, rental A, this newly renovated, oops, I don't know what renovated means. Okay, historic houses renting for only 1,600, okay. Would you do this, or would you go directly to the task at the bottom? Now, I hope you said you'd go directly to B, because that's really what you should do. You should come down here and have a look at the information that you need to find. So, as I said before, if this was real life and you were looking for a house, when you looked at these 6 paragraphs, let's say you have your budget. We'll say $1,200. This is my budget. So, I would have a look at the first one. For example, rent today, very quickly. Can I see any money? Oh, 1,600. Forget. No good. Next one. Money. Oh, 2. No good. Oh, 1,400. No good. Oh, goodness. I'm not going to find a house. Here's this one. 1,500. No good. 1,500. 2,000. Okay, so today I wasn't lucky. There's no house for me. But you see what you do. You have your limit. You know how much you want. So there's no point in reading each one. Once you see this is too much for you, there's no point in reading on anymore. So let's go back to the questions. So you have 8 questions. Let's look at the first one. We have, it has got, I should read it. So now write the 2 rental homes that correspond with each statement below. So we're looking for 2 houses. We have 2 spaces there. It has got a fenced garden. Okay. So the important word in this sentence, well, garden is important and fenced is important. Because many of the houses could have gardens, but maybe not many of the houses could have a fenced garden. So let's go back up very quickly. I'm going to do this one with you and have a little look. So now we're looking for fenced. Fenced. Large back garden. Nothing about fenced. Let's look at the second one. Here we go. Fenced. A fenced garden with a swing set. I don't need to look at any more there. I don't need to look at this. If it's a good neighborhood, we have a fenced garden. So there's one. B. Remember that. B. Let's look for the second one. Here we go. Oh, garden. Oops. No fence. Let me look in here. Noops. Garden. But nothing but a fence. We look at this one. Nope. Look, I found it straight away. Fenced. So there you go. You have B and F for those 2. I'll put them in. B, B and F. So let's look at the second one. It has got a garden, but it hasn't got a big garden. So it's got a garden, okay, but it hasn't got a big one. What does that mean? It hasn't got a big garden. That means it has a small garden, doesn't it? Because the opposite of big is small. As well as looking for the opposite of big, we should think of a synonym for big. So another word which means the same as big. So for example, large, huge. Okay, but we'll stick with large. So we're looking for large and small when we look through the text. Because this type of text, it won't always give you the answer directly in the text. You have to prepare yourself by thinking of synonyms, thinking of antonyms, or predicting, basically, predicting what you're going to find in the text. So let's look. So we're looking for a small garden or large garden. So we start here again. Anything with a garden? Oh, a large back garden. So this one says garden, and this one says large. And what was the question again? It hasn't got a big garden. Okay, so this one is no good. This is no good because it's got a large back garden. Okie doke. So let's have a look at B. Now the garden. Ooh, a large fenced garden. Is that good? What was the question? It hasn't got a big garden. No, that's not good because large is the same as big. So how about C? Blah, blah, blah. Oops, a small back garden. Okay, small back garden. It hasn't got a large garden. So C, remember that. There's one answer first. Let's have a look at D. Oops, another one. Small back garden. Okay, so now we have, was that 2? Yep, C and D. Now just out of interest, we look along here. Anything about the garden? Nope. Anything about a large fenced garden? No. So we're happy. C and D. Now I continue to read, even though I found the 2 answers here, because I am a suspicious person, and sometimes I would check that whilst I was reading quickly that I hadn't made a mistake. So I read on the other 2. But of course, in theory, you could stop there. If you're confident in your answers, you've prepared and you've predicted, we keep on going. Now, the other ones, I'm not going to find the answers for you, because this I hope you're going to do at home. But what I will do, I will go through each of the questions with you, and we can talk about what the answer might be. So, number 3, it says it hasn't got a garage, but it has got a driveway for 2 or more cars. Okay, a driveway for 2 or more cars. So driveway is the important word. 2 or more cars. So not necessarily they're going to say 2, but they might say 3 or 4. In another type of text, if it was a little bit less formal, they might say a couple of cars. So cars. Now cars is also an important word, because could you think of another word for a car? Maybe a vehicle, maybe, no, that's all I can think of. But a vehicle, no, there's nothing else I can think of now. But maybe you can think of something else. However, remember, so you're looking for a number here, maybe, so for 3 vehicles, for 2 vehicles, and then the driveway is good. And of course it hasn't got a garage, so they'll say there is no garage. Number 4, it has got 2 bedrooms, but it hasn't got more than 1 bathroom. So it's got 2 bedrooms, that's fine, but it hasn't got more than. What does that mean? It hasn't got more than. So it means perhaps it only has 1. Yeah, it doesn't have 2 or 3. So maybe I would translate that. If I was doing this text, I would translate that in my head as it only has. Okay, number 5, it's got a laundry room. Okay, maybe the important word here is laundry. What does laundry mean? So it has a space, a room where you can wash your clothes, or it has a room with a washing machine and a dryer, maybe an ironing board. So we know that's what laundry means. We predict that in our heads. Number 6, it's got a pet policy allowing some pets. Okay, so a pet policy means that you can have some animals, some kind of animals, but which kind? So some pets. So if I was looking at this, like you as a student, I would think that some perhaps could mean maybe they accept fish but not cats, or dogs but not birds. So when you look around that, you have to think of other kinds of typical pets that people would have and look for these words in the text. So birds, fish, cats, dogs, what have you. Number 7, it hasn't got a fireplace, but it has got 3 or more bedrooms. Again, it hasn't got a fireplace, so there is no fireplace. There is no mantelpiece, perhaps. Yeah, it hasn't got a fireplace, but it has got 3 or more. So 3 or more bedrooms, could be 3 of course, or 4 or 5 bedrooms. And finally, number 8, it's got new carpets. So they might have a word like newly renovated or refurbished, or rugs. Another word for carpets could be rugs. Okay, and then we come to the end. Well, I hope that's been of help to you. A text like this is good fun for a teacher because it's like a puzzle, and you have to remember not to get involved in the enjoyment of reading this. This isn't a text to enjoy. This is a text to find the answers in. And, if you finish, say I've given you 5 minutes to find the answers, and you finish early, well, then you can go back and read it and enjoy the text about the different houses and how much they are and whatever. But in a task where you have a time limit, you work on the questions first, or the statements first, and then you find your answers in the text. Well, I hope this helped, and like I said, please go back and have a little look at the texts themselves. You can pause and check where the statements are and then fill them in. And if you have any questions, you know where I am. Thank you very much. Bye bye.